Short for a stormtrooper?
What's up, my friends? It is Stormy, of course, and welcome back to another episode of the Imperial Cantina. So guys, on this episode of the IC, I'm going to be talking about something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, ever since I heard about its announcement, and that is the Dune Remake. Now, a lot of you guys know already from just, experiencing my videos over the past year and a half or so, that I am not the biggest fan of remakes. I really despise remakes. I view all movies as sort of, kind of like time capsules, that should be left alone. It doesn't matter if they're not that well executed or yada yada, whatever. They're time capsules. They should be left alone. They should be left in the places that they are to be appreciated as the movies that they are. But I will be the first to admit that even I hold a select few movies in my heart that I truly believe should be remade, and unfortunately, Dune is one of them. Because Dune has such a vast history in cinema. But the thing is that I've never read the book. I've never read Dune the book, but I have delved into the mythology. And let me tell you guys, Dune has some of the deepest, richest, expansive, largest, complex mythology of any sci-fi movie out there, and I love the film. I really do. And I fully realized that it was poorly executed, but I saw what they were trying to do. I really understood the art style and the art direction, and I understood what the mythology was trying to present, but it was just so horribly executed. I mean, you name it. Everything that could have gone wrong with Dune went wrong with the movie. Its directors, its actors, its producers, its production in general. It was a living nightmare. It could never get itself off the ground, and when it did finally get itself off the ground, it was just barely. And they came out with this jumbled mess because one of the main problems with the film was that they were trying to squeeze all of that mythology down into just 2.5 hours of films, and basically what that is the equivalent to taking Star Wars episodes 1 through 6 and squeezing that into 2.5 hours, and it just doesn't work. So in that vein, Dune deserves a remake. And of course, they did make a TV series out of Dune and stuff, but that's not what I want. I want a big, epic spectacle, a big screen epic tale. That's the way that Dune deserves to be told on the big screen, and that's why I am totally behind this remake. Now, one of the main reasons I am so excited about this remake is that they're bringing director Denis Villeneuve. I think that's how you say his last name. He's got one of the strangest last names. If you guys know how to pronounce it properly, please, phonetically put it in the comments down below. But director Denis Villeneuve is coming onto this project. Now, this is the guy who was behind Sicario. This is the guy behind Arrival, and this is also the guy that's doing the brand new Blade Runner remake. And I don't know how many of you guys saw the new Blade Runner trailer yet. I know a lot of people did, but that trailer blew me away. And it was because of one thing. It's because the art style. The art style of the trailer it floored me. When I watched the trailer, we were transported back to the world of Blade Runner. And that's why I got so excited about it, because everything looked the same. The vehicles, the outsides of the buildings, the insides of the buildings, everything looked the same. This is a man who understands art style. He proved in films like Sicario and Arrival that he understands things like scale and scope and cinematography. And now with this Blade Runner trailer, it looks like he also understands how to direct art. He also understands art style. And that's what you need. For Dune, you need scope and you need art style. Those are the two most important things, because you have to keep Dune's art style the same. Perfect example, that's basically the reason why everybody loves Dune so much, is we realized that it was a horribly executed movie, but man, was the art style of that movie and the art direction of that movie on point all the way through. Dune is such a pleasure to look at. It's just, people pop it in just for the visuals, just to look at what's going on in front of their eyes, and that's what it nails so well. One of the best examples that I could possibly give you is one of the things that I love so much about Dune was the third stage navigators, the design of the third stage navigators. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know, they're the guys that have just become deformed. He's become deformed over thousands of years of existence because he's been ingesting spice, and his body has become deformed, and now he floats. He's like this weird floating head with like this weird deformed body, and he just has spice, the smoke pouring out of his mouth, and he talks like this, you know, because he has to have a translator. If the director comes in and he changes the design of something like the third stage navigator, I'm going to know right off the bat that this guy doesn't understand how to make this movie. Because that's one of the things that you have to keep the same about Dune. You cannot change the art style. If things like the third stage navigators and the creatures, the designs, the art style, if that is different about Dune, it's not going to feel the same. And that's the reason I'm so excited, is because it looks like with this Blade Runner trailer, he really understands the world. And that means he's going to understand Dune as well. Another more recent reason why I'm super excited about this movie being remade is something that they actually just announced last month, and that is that Oscar-winning writer Eric Roth, who of course wrote Forrest Gump, is coming on to team up with this director. I mean, guys, this is what we wanted from the beginning. An Oscar-winning writer teaming up with a brand new groundbreaking director to make this movie. This is what we wanted for Dune to begin with, and now we're finally getting it. I mean, you know, a lot of people are saying that, you know, they're scared about Roth going into this because this is kind of like a brand new kind of writing style for him, a brand new property for him. But honestly, I think the reason why they brought him on is because, look, you know, when you break down Forrest Gump, it's a really complex story. It takes an immense amount of talent to be able to write a story like that, and I think that's why they brought him on. You know, this is a guy that can see an immense amount of expansive mythology before him, and he can slice and dice it down into, say, like 3 films or something like that, and make it flow in a nice, epic, cohesive story that's going to be extremely entertaining for everybody to see. And that, of course, leads me into my last point. The last reason why I'm so excited about this is something that I just mentioned, is that in a recent report, they mentioned that, what they said was that in one of the recent reports, he called it the Dune series, not the Dune movie. So this could mean that they're actually planning on doing a series of movies. It might not even be a trilogy, it might be something like 5 films or something like that. And that is exactly what you need for this movie. You need enough room for every single area of the mythology to grow, or else it's not going to be a complete story. And now we have finally got, I mean, this is the dream team. This is the dream team for Dune. We're finally, after all of these years, after decades and decades and decades of waiting, we're finally getting the Dune movie that all of us have wanted to see after all this time. I'm so excited. But now, of course, you know, I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for the Dune remake? Are you not excited for the Dune remake? And with all this new information, what do you think now? You know, leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the Great White Void. I want to hear from you guys. Let's get the conversation going. And also, guys, you know, let's support Dune. It's not going to be out for a super long time, but for now, we can support this new director. We can go, you know, break the doors off the box office when they release Blade Runner, and we can break the doors down again when they release Dune. It's important that we support new mythology like this, because the theater industry can't just be surrounded with superheroes and Star Wars. We need new sci-fi movies to come back into the fray and to bring us a fresh, new experience and mythology for the theater industry, because they are in desperate need right now for sure. So I will see you guys on my next episode of the IC, which will be, of course, on May 25th, when I'm going to be having a party here on this channel, and also a surprise Q&A. And I will be posting a video soon where you guys can leave all of those questions, so look forward to that soon. But for right now, of course, leave all of your thoughts and opinions on the Dune remake down below in the Great White Void. And as always, until next we meet, stay in a galaxy far, far away.